welcome back. This is live from Paris. Kat Nicholson's here, which means, of course, it's time for A World in Motion, which is great stuff. But also here on a one-night-only gig is Vela Finch from France 24 Internet team. Before we get to Kat's list of perfect items, sorry about the pun, to shock and amuse you, let's bring in Vela to talk about France 24's all-new website. Now, Vela, I've had a sneaky peek. It's very nice. We've been urging people to do the same thing. Of course, tell us what they think. Tell us all about the new look and what's gone on behind it.
Well, this is a brand spanking new site, Mark, obviously, with a totally new look, which in fact our web users have helped us to design in giving us comments and ideas on how to improve the previous site that we had.
Do you really listen to these people?
Yeah, we do.
You guys never listen to me.
But you don't count, you work here, you've got a job. These are valuable comments. But basically, Mark, the site is much richer, fuller, clearer, easier to use. We've got much more original content. By that I mean articles, videos, reports, etc. It's easy to get around. I know that. I'm well placed to say that because I obviously use it every day. But the big thing is the new media player that we've got, which that's of course the thing which allows you to watch high definition television, either the live broadcast or any of the feature programs we have. And this one is actually, unlike other sites, not embedded in the site but independent, which means that you can just carry on navigating around the site and not interrupt your live TV coverage,
so
which is a big plus.
Fantastic. I have a very important question. If your family, for instance, your family or Kat's family, missed this feature, I'm sure they don't miss this feature, they watch us religiously, but if they missed it, would it be easy for them then to go onto the website and find this feature and take a look at it?
Of course, they would find it easily. They can find it on the media player itself. You just click very easily on it, or you can look at the menus at the bottom, which would take you to it. If your fans wanted to watch you, Mark, they can go and look on the list of programs or click on TV shows. I'm assuming that you have some. So, so it's much, much easier to use.
Barbed comments in this feature, Kat. I think we should revise bringing this one back, don't you? So in terms of feedback from the people who watch France 24 all across the world, of course, because in all the major events we get a lot of feedback from people in the street and all the trouble zones of the world. What's your advice to them? What would you like them to do?
Well, what we'd really like is constructive criticism. We'd like people to go on the new site, to have a look around it and to write in and give us their ideas of how we can improve, what they like, give us their comments. Congratulations if they want to as well, obviously, you're welcome. And the address for that is webdesk@france24.com.
That's a webdesk at france24.com.
Yes, webdesk at france24.com.
What's the at bit in French? Do you know what I had to say? That's
arrobas.
Arrobas. I can't catch you guys out on anything, can I?
We're just too well informed.
Vela Finch, the most clever person I know. Part of our internet team, but soon to be president of the company, no doubt. Here, telling us all about the new website. Check it out. The colours have changed a little bit. I wasn't too happy about that. I like the blue.
I don't know, there's a divide on the blue debate. Some people
blue.
really like that look and they associate it with the channel, but this is a much more modern, up-to-date look you'll see when you
I'll take your word for it, you're a modern, up-to-date kind of person. Vela Finch there. Finchy to her friends. Kat, bring some sanity to this feature, please. Tell us where you're going next. Go on.
Well, we're starting in London. Back at home in Old Blighty.
What? London.
Yeah, we've got a historic move for one of the UK's oldest newspapers, the London Evening Standard. It's been around for over 180 years and it's just stopped charging people for the newspaper.
Hang on a minute. So how does this work then? If you don't get paid, how do they get money?
Well, exactly. It used to be 50 pence, which is about 50 centimes. Now it's obviously nothing, so it's a big loss in revenue. They're hoping advertising will make up the difference. Okay. They say that basically current circulation is around 100,000 to 200,000 a day. They hope that's going to go up to 600,000. So obviously the advertisers will have a bigger audience and pay more.
So if the advertising comes through, the people who make the paper don't miss out. But how about the poor geezer who sells the paper, at the corner at St Pancras International, and you get off the Eurostar, you go and get your Evening Standard. Surely that person misses out.
Well, yes, they've got 300 new staff who are employed to just hand it out for free, as we can see on the video footage we've been showing. But like you say, there were a lot of news agents and small vendors who relied on selling the Evening Standard.
That guy there, he's the kind of guy who stands up and always shouts, "Yes, Standard!" like that, and that's part and parcel of London life. It's great.
Well, lots of those people are the people who've been taken on to hand them out, so they're not necessarily missing out. But some people are concerned that your small news agent, which is kind of the heart of a lot of the small communities.
Indeed it is.
People won't be popping in for their Evening Standard, so they won't be picking up their bar of chocolate and whatever else, So there are concerns for smaller businesses. So, and also for the newspaper, because a lot of people in the newspaper industry are saying, is it going to work?
Vale is nodding away. She's going to still go in for a chocolate bar, I am sure. Now we're going to Manchester, a new kind of controversy in, not far from where I was born.
Well, quite. And I think you'll kind of like this in a way. It is controversial. Airport security, of course, has been stepped up a lot since September the 11th. And at Manchester, they're now trialling a camera or a scanner that can see through your clothes and see what you look like with nothing on. And we can see some pictures of that.
Some pictures there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Basically, the idea obviously is to see concealed weapons or that kind of thing. I knew this was going to go down well with you, Mark.
Concealed weapons, great. Okay.
And they say it's because people don't like the traditional pat-down search. People don't like being touched. So they've come up with this so that people aren't touched. But then a lot of people are saying, well, I don't really want you to see me naked, thank you very much.
Sure.
So what happens is that you go into this booth, they fire X-rays at you, which is another little concern.
There's a health issue there, isn't there? Surely.
Well, they say it's perfectly safe, but of course people will always worry, because you never know.
And they always say things are safe, don't they?
Exactly. And only one person sees the image and it's instantly deleted after they've looked at it.
Okay, I suppose the issue is that if it's making things safer, then certainly it's got to be a decent thing. How do you feel about it?
I think I prefer the pat-down search. Now I'm thinking about it. I think
One vote for the pat-down search. Yeah. How about you?
Pat-down search.
Pat-down search, okay. Volunteers, send your emails to France. Okay, what's next?
Heading over to New York, and there's exotic things going on in the urban jungle. You might think of New York, think of skyscrapers, yellow cabs, obviously Central Park, but not really a wilderness. But we've got one guy who has set up special safaris to go and see some parakeets that have set up in Brooklyn.
Are you making this up?
I'm not making it up. Escapees or abandoned animals, and they've started breeding, and we can have a look at a special report about that.
This gang of intrepid New York City birdwatchers is scoping out a rare urban find, parakeets. These days, the exotic birds that probably hail from South America are strutting down the sidewalks of Brooklyn next to their very distant city-dwelling cousins.
You would think they would only live in the forest somewhere you would never see them. But here they are, and they're exotic, and they have funky-looking beaks.
But these feral birds are not new arrivals to the U.S. In the 1960s, parakeets were imported en masse to be kept as pets. Now, descendants who somehow found their way out of captivity have established colonies.
They're right in here.
Bird enthusiast Steve Baldwin has been leading groups on safaris through the escapees' adopted homes over the past couple of years. And the ranks of curious birdwatchers are growing, even when the weather poses a challenge.
I think it's extraordinary. I was looking at a whole flock of different kinds of birds, and I didn't even see the wild parrots because they were so well camouflaged.
Similar colonies have popped up in other cities like Chicago and London, and scientists are eagerly studying how these warm weather animals have adapted to climates with freezing winters. However they manage it, seeing what were once domesticated birds back out in the wild is a thrill for Baldwin.
Because I live in New York City, I didn't have to travel thousands of miles and spend thousands of dollars to go and see these exotic animals in what turns out to be their natural habitat now. They've adapted to the ecosystem of a city.
The little guys might like New York, but these safari goers discovered that parakeets do not like to play in the rain. Good thing they have some dedicated fans.
So this is the second time you've come out for this, right?
Maybe third.
Third? My God.
They could be a double act, couldn't they? Like those two guys from the Muppets, you know.
They are. They're very cute. And I love the fact that they're so dedicated as well.
Yeah, okay. Yesterday we finished with Michael Jackson's new song, which you very kindly brought to share with us from your personal collection. Another musical note tonight?
That's right. But today it's not singing, but beatboxing.
What is beatboxing, Kat? Please explain to people
I was hoping
of a certain generation like me.
Well, you could describe it as doing percussion with your mouth. Put it that way. There's people who make the sounds of a drum kit and all sorts of things.
Vela's
scratching
laughing.
records.
Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I've
seen it. I've heard Vela can do
says.
it. I'm a bit younger than you, Mark.
Yeah.
And they've just had the French beatboxing championships here.
Wow.
And it's really very impressive. In fact, we can hear from the winner if we want to have a little listen to that.
Go winner.
For people who are just starting out, or who don't even know how to do it, you've got to keep at it. It doesn't come overnight.
That's the kind of thing that used to get me thrown out of class at school, doing that kind of thing. You know?
Well, now you can win prizes in it.
Is it that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
No.
Similar.
Okay. I don't think either Kat or Vela are convinced by anything I'm trying to beatbox. Anyway, thank you very much for that. We need to, obviously remind you to keep Vela happy that there's a new website, of course, francevancat.com. Tell us what you think about it. And we'll leave you from this Live from Paris program with some beatboxing. Take care.
Motherfucker, shake, drop.